Before we get into this video, I want you to ask yourself how different your life would be if you always took action, if you always did the right things, and you were twice as productive as you currently are now. Most people are so fucking lazy nowadays, it's actually sickening. Like, it actually repulses me to see people wasting their lives playing video games, smoking weed. So in this video, I'm going to go over how you can unlock insane levels of productivity for those people that are willing and ready to make a change in their lives. Now, what does productivity look like to you? Maybe you're a top performer at your job. You're the guy that everyone goes to because you get things done. You get paid more because you get more done. You see, it's cause and effect. Maybe you have a side hustle you've been wanting to start for the longest time now, but you've been putting it off because you're distracted. You just rather do nothing because you're lazy. Maybe you know you should be training, but you don't. For example, I know a guy at my fight gym. He would never show up to training. Never. And he still manages to fight. And he's on a losing streak. And that's his own problem. Maybe there's something in your life that you've been putting off because for whatever reason you can't get started. It's normal. It's actually normal to be doing nothing. Being productive is almost unnormal nowadays. So the first thing I want to go over, and none of these tips are in any particular order. They are all foundational. They are all serve the same purpose, which is to get you in the most productive state possible. But the first is fasting. Now, why do we fast? And thousands of years of evolution, we didn't have refrigerators to reach in and grab cereal in the morning. When we wake up and eat, immediately our body starts to digest while we're eating. It puts your body to work rather than trying to put your brain to work to solve problems in your life. Like a lion doesn't wake up to a freshly caught buffalo next to him. Maybe the female lion does because the male lion provides, but it's very unlikely. By being in a fasted state, we're almost irritated. We're in a state where we want to do something. We're ready to hunt. You want to wake up ready to hunt. Being productive is like hunting. You need to be problem solving. You need to be moving. You can't do that as efficiently if your body's working to digest the bloody Cheerios you ate in the morning. It's actually sad that as children we're taught to eat our cereal, eat our Wheat Bix, because it'll make us more cognitive throughout the day. But it's actually quite the opposite. Now, I understand if you're bulking, if you're trying to put on muscle, absolutely. Have your eggs, have your oats in the morning, that's fine. But this video is for the person that is ready to focus on business or homework or university or whatever they're trying to achieve. The next thing I want you to do is to introduce boredom into your life. Now, just recently I shortened my app limits on my phone. It used to be 15 minutes a day for TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. Now I've changed it to 2 minutes a day. Yeah, I've changed it on my phone to 2 minutes a day so that I literally don't spend any time on it. Right now, I want to be building this YouTube channel. I want to be providing value. I want to be creating content. I want to be putting myself out there. And I haven't posted in 2 weeks. So I knew something was wrong, hence why I'm making this video. I've recently started to click again and realized what was holding me back from producing. And it was that I just had better things to do. I had more stimulating things to do. By being bored, your brain looks for something to do. No kid wants to sit in the naughty corner staring at the wall. They want to do something. If you took all the cell phones away from the kids today and just forced them to play outside, they would think of things to do. They would play tag. They would play stuck in the mud. They'd invent their own games. They'd do role playing. The brain thinks of ways to entertain itself. And you can create the work that you want to do more entertaining if there's literally nothing else for you to do. If you have access to a video game, whether it's Call of Duty, Halo, or whatever the kids are playing nowadays, Fortnite. If you have the option to play Fortnite and do work, your brain's gonna choose Fortnite like 80% of the time. Hence why about 4 or 5 years ago, I sold my PlayStation 4 because I really wanted to make a change in my life. And it was an excellent decision. A couple actionable steps you can take right now is to create app limits on your phone, just how I have done. And you can also turn off all notifications on social media. I only just did that today, if I'm being honest, because I rarely get messages anyway. But I recently just turned it off completely, like Facebook, all my social medias. If it's that important, they'll call you. Just think about that. If it's that important, they will call you. Even if it's a text, it's probably not that important. Just something to think about. And for me, Clash of Clans became an addiction since I came to Thailand. Like, I was doing my Muay Thai stuff, and every time I would go out and eat with the boys, they were playing Clash of Clans, so I downloaded Clash of Clans. It was an influence thing, but I've recently deleted that again, just so I can focus on this. And you're probably wondering what that photo in the bottom right hand of your screen is. That's Benjamin Franklin flying a kite in a storm. Imagine how bored this guy would have had to been to be like, you know what, I ain't got nothing else better to do. It's raining, but I want to fly my kite. And he went on later to prove that electricity is stored in the sky. No, I think he was proving that lightning is a form of electricity. Something to think about. The next thing is physical training. By being physically fit throughout your day, you increase blood circulation to your brain, which is essential. You want the engine pumping, you want it working. The body is also a reflection of the mind. You can tell how disciplined a person is, how much work ethic a person has, just by looking at their body. If you had to go 5v5 in a fight, in a war, to the death, do you want 5 fat asses on your team? Do you want 5 scrawny, skinny, bony guys on your team? No, you want buff guys. If you had to get in a fist fight to the death, yeah, maybe you want a heavy guy, but not a fat fuck. Not a guy that hops into his pram when he goes through Walmart. And when you train, you wake up in a high vibrational state. You want to start your day off in a high vibration. You can train. All of your favorite male influencers do it. Andrew Tate, Hamza, Iman Gadzhi, Alex Hormozy. It's essential nowadays that you have a physically fit body so that you can have a physically fit mind and you can get more things done. Maybe your productivity is something physical. Maybe it's doing a whole bunch of writing or typing. It's still a physical act that you would perform better at if you were physically fit. And then the next thing you want to do is maximize your sleep. Now, sleep maxing sounds like a joke, and trust me, I've sacrificed so much hours of sleep because I thought I was being productive. For example, 2 years ago, 2023, I was training for my first fight, but I was also working my construction job. So I'd wake up at 5 a.m. every morning to be up at 6 a.m. on site. I had to drive to site, work all day, finish around 5 o'clock, drive to the gym, train 2 hours, finish up at 9 p.m., go home, eat, and sleep as fast as I could. But after you eat, you actually do not sleep as well if you go to sleep right after. You want like 2 to 3 hours of digestion, ideally, before you go to sleep. So I was leaving the gym at 9 p.m., getting home about 9:30, eating at 9:30, which probably would have been about like 10 minutes of shoving my mouth, and then finally hopping into bed around 10:30, shower, brush your teeth, night routine, that stuff. And I remember my heart rate being up so much as well some nights because I had just finished training. I went home to eat and I was still like amped from training. You need time to cool down as well. So I was only sleeping 5 hours, and I thought I was being productive, but I was actually hindering myself. I was actually slowing down my progress business-wise. Like, I could show up and do manual labor in construction, and I can show up and do manual labor at fighting, but when it came down to the mental side of things, I couldn't think of a business idea, I couldn't think of a side hustle or anything. But luckily I had investing, which doesn't take up any brain power, you just put money aside anyway. By dreaming, the brain helps to better understand our emotions. When we dream, we also create new memories. The brain needs time to repair itself. It needs to stitch up memories, and it needs time to comprehend what it just went through. Like, let's say you're giving so much information to your brain, you're reading books, you're scrolling through reels, you're reading the news, you're learning a language, whatever it is. The brain is working to memorize those things. And without rest, it cannot store those deep within your consciousness unless it has the time to do so. On top of that, all of the good hormones, testosterone, HGH, serotonin, dopamine, etc., are released when you sleep. All the good things happen when you sleep. So, how do you sleep better? I'm going to quickly run down how you can maximize your sleep. One thing I've implemented recently is at 6 p.m. I have an alarm that goes off on my phone that tells me no more food. At 7 p.m., I have an alarm that tells me to finish up whatever I'm doing. At 8 p.m., it's lights out. I get off my phone, it's no more screen time, no more nothing. And at 8:30, it's actually switch off the light, go to bed. And then my goal is to sleep before 9 p.m. I've only just started to implement this, but I'm pretty sure this is going to unlock a new level of productivity. Now, the hours can change for you. I just want to maximize my sleep so I can maximize my testosterone and my performance. But you can adjust your schedule to however much sleep you need. I recommend 8 hours. And maybe you wake up later. I like to wake up early. Do what works for you. And drink water. Andrew Tate wakes up and drinks 2 liters of water. And he makes his men drink about 4 or 5 liters of water a day. The body makes up about 60% water. If you want to know if you're getting enough water or not, just go take a piss when you have to and see how transparent it is. If it's green, you're cooked. Like, a lot of you probably don't even remember the last time you drank water. I know people that live off energy drinks, that never touch water, that just live off energy drinks. The brain is 70% water. And water, when you put water into a cup of dirty water, and you keep pouring water into the dirty cup, eventually that dirty cup becomes clear water. So think of that as your brain. Think of your brain as the cup. When you're pouring in water, it's getting rid of all the negative thoughts and all the junk and shit that's currently circulating. I'm not a neuroscientist, but I'm trying to say that, you know how there's like fibers in your brain or like those electrical stem things? Drinking water will help to create new of those. Brain cells. Brain cells is the word I'm looking for. By drinking a lot of water, you're allowing the brain to create new brain cells. Next up, have a routine. Get up at the same time, go to sleep at the same time, work at the same time. If you have a job, having a routine is easy. I don't have a job anymore, so having a routine is kind of hard. And I'm also been traveling a lot, which I'm not proud of. I want a place to lock in. I might end up buying a place soon once I decide where I want to stay long term. But if you have a job, get up at the same time, go to work at the same time, train at the same time after work, and go to sleep at the same time, eat at the same time, do everything at the same time. That way it takes away the mental power of trying to figure out what to do next. When you're working, and you've probably experienced this before, when you're working, you give time for your brain to turn off because everything's automated, and that's when random ideas come to you. That's when a flash of inspiration comes to you. It's when you're already in a routine. Every time you stop to think about something, it uses up brain power. Every time you decide to eat something, oh, what do you want to eat today? Oh, I don't know, let's think about it. You're using up your brain power to decide what you feel like: chicken, beef, burgers, milkshakes, whatever. It's taking up brain power, which you could be using to work on your business or your homework, whatever it is that you are currently working on. Journal. Probably the most important life hack. Well, probably my favorite. It helps you to keep track of things. It helps you to write down useful thoughts. Like, if you're like me and you just have if you're like me and your brain is constantly generating new thoughts, you're going to want to put it down on paper to help you visualize, to help you keep track of all the things that are rushing through your head. And a lot of things are bullshit and unnecessary, but you want to keep track of all the things that are important, the things that can change your life. Plus, you can also just use it to create to-do lists, keep track of things like, today I needed to make a YouTube video. Today I'm not watching reels on TikTok or Instagram. Today I need to train at a certain time. Journaling helps you to keep track of those things. Meditate. Now this one is for those people that are cooked. I was cooked at one point in my life. I couldn't sit still for like 30 seconds, if that. Now meditation is important because if you are ever overwhelmed with thoughts, you can turn to meditation, and it's kind of like sleeping. Not as good as sleeping, but very similar. It calms the mind. It teaches you to let go of unwanted thoughts. Like, I know what it's like to have negative thoughts run through your brain. Maybe you have dirty thoughts. Maybe you have perverted thoughts. Maybe you have criminal thoughts. Thoughts of killing people. Thoughts of backstabbing people. None of those thoughts are you. They just pass through your brain because of what we see on the news, what we watch in the movies. Some of you probably watch porn as well. That's why your brain's all perverted. But by meditating, you can help to just let those things go. And if you can learn to sit still, it's all about self-control. And the next time you go pick up a bag of noodles or potato chips, and if you have been meditating, you're going to be able to be like, I want to eat this bag of chips, but I have this self-control to just put it down and say no. That's what meditation is about. Meditation is just all about self-control. Like, it's better. You don't even need to sit like a monk and meditate. Just yesterday, I was lying on the bed and I didn't know what to do. I was lost. And I didn't feel like meditating, but I just laid down on the bed and stared at the wall. It's better to stare at the fucking wall than to pick up a joint and start smoking that shit. It's better to stare at the fucking wall thinking about your life than playing a video game. Or hanging out with bad friends or drinking alcohol or whatever it is you do. So, I hope you gained some value from that video. I hope that whatever it is you want in life, that you're going after it, and that this video helped you to get there. I want to leave you with a quote: fill the earth, subdue it, and have dominion over the creation. Genesis 1:28. Fill the earth, repopulate, subdue it, trample whatever gets in your way, whatever obstacle you think that might be in your way right now. It's God's instruction that you just trample over everything in your way. Anyway, man, that's it for the video. Peace.